This is my time.
So, I got a little bit of time. I just finished setting up for a wedding, and we're just waiting for guests to show up so I can start music. If the rain holds up, can't really use electronics in the rain. That's a problem. But I wanted to use this time to check in and share a collaboration of the readings that I had this morning that just really coincided with each other. And this first one from The Daily Dad, boom, Ryan Holiday. If you're not picking up what he's putting down, please do. It is not just for dads, it is for parents on all slides of the scale, masculine, feminine, everywhere in between. Starts off with a quote from Plutarch. If you can pronounce it, you are wiser than I. Just as in fair weather, which is so ironic. It's like rain on your wedding day. Just as in fair weather, then, one ought to prepare for the storm. So also in youth, one should store up discipline and self-restraint as a provision for old age. And that was so fitting as I checked in twice about our rain plan for today's wedding. Oh man, they are insistent on being outside. And I said, well, what about, one thing for electronics to be outside, but what about the guests? It's cold, it's windy, it's wet. The walk is not even, it's on grass. Oh, they're insistent, we're going to be outside. Yeah, but what about the guests? Just as in fair weather, then, one ought to prepare for the storm. You don't prepare for the fair weather and always anticipate the fair weather. Prepare for the storm in hopes for the fair weather, but be ready for any weather. So Ryan goes on to tell the story about Theodore Roosevelt, who struggled horribly with asthma as a child. And jumping ahead, talks about a time when his dad came into his room and said, Theodore, you have the mind, but you have not the body. And without the help of the body, the mind cannot go as far as it should. Roosevelt's younger sister, who witnessed the conversation, recalled how the young, fragile boy looked at his father and said, with determination, I'll make my body. And that is what I am so bent on, is curating the life that you know is for you, that you are here to live, you are here to provide for everyone else. Meeting your goals and exceeding them, meeting your potential and exceeding it by building a body and a mind that work in harmony with each other. It was the beginning of his preparation for and fulfillment of what he would call the strenuous life. If that isn't so accurate for all of us. He worked out every day thereafter, and by his early 20s, his battle against asthma was over. Roosevelt had worked that weakness out of his body. What a beautiful way to put that. Whatever your weakness is, whatever you perceive as your fault, your shortcomings, literally just work it out of your body. Work it out. Work it out of your mind. Whatever's holding you back, work it out. Shake it out. Shake it off. Not everyone accepts the cards they are dealt. They remake their bodies and their lives with activities and exercise. They prepare themselves for the hard road. Do they hope they never have to walk it? Sure. Do they hope it doesn't rain on their wedding day? Sure. But they are prepared for it in any case. Nobody is born with a steel backbone. It has to be forged. And help your kids forge theirs. Oh man, does that not ring true for me as someone who blew a disc in their back? What was that, 2020 during the pandemic? And yet here I am still doing physical labor, doing the work of events, because I am determined to use my body to serve clients, to serve guests. But I had to work it out. I had to get back in alignment. It was a long road of healing, natural healing. And that kind of leads me to picking up what MLK Jr. is putting down, talking about insecurities, facing our inner fears. It matters little what status we hold in life, what we have achieved, how rich we are, and how popular we may be. These things never eradicate our more fundamental insecurities. We all have these insecurities, whether we acknowledge them or not, but it is far better to face them than to have them play tricks on us. And that's something we talk about with Chris McAllister and figure that shift out, is leaning into the fears. Fears are a signal. They're a sign on the road of telling you a turn is there. There's a hazard. Be aware. Your awareness should be here. Lean into it. You lean into a turn. You don't avoid it, or you would go off the road. So it's the point of the fear is to get your awareness, not to avoid it, but just to be aware. And Martin Luther King Jr. talks about fear and insecurity in this way. We are afraid of the superiority of other people, of failure, and of the scorn or disapproval of those whose opinions we most value. Our insecurities can take many other forms, but eventually they disempower us and may even immobilize us. So instead of hiding our insecurities, we should face them and bring them into the open. It will save us from the disabling pain of leaving things hidden. And just like old Theo, could he have ever led the nation from his bed, unable to speak, without the breath, being an asthmatic, if he accepted the cards he was dealt? No, he built his body. He curated the life to achieve the potential he knew he was capable of, and that his father knew he was capable of. So whether this is a challenge for you or you see yourself as a guide to others, it is allowing them to do the work and helping them to see the signs, to focus on where their attention needs to be, to put the work in, to do the heavy lifting, to build the muscles and the repetition so that they can achieve greatness. So that's all I have for you. I'm going to go figure out this rain plan. Go weather. Oh, the weather outside is weather. All right, be well. I'll see you soon.
9, paid on my dues, waited in line. 8, 7, now it's about time that I take mine. 6, 5, king of the jungle, heart of a lion. 4, 3, 2, 1, watch out, here I come. This is my time.